Today will mark the 25th day of the trial of Oscar Pistorius that started more than 7 weeks ago in the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria on what was the 3rd of March. Judge Thokozile Masipa yesterday granted an application by the prosecution for the trial to be postponed until the 5th of May, 2 days before the national election here in South Africa. Roux has already indicated that the defence will need until at least the 16th of May to wrap up their case. Now will this morning continue with Dixon's cross-examination in an attempt to further discredit him as a reliable witness. But it remains to be seen whether or not Roux will call his 4th witness, possibly Johan Stander, to testify before the adjournment or only when the trial restarts on the 5th. Joining us, as always, from the North Gauteng High Court this morning, Chriselda Lewis. Good morning, Chriselda.
Well, a very good morning, to you here. And as you can see, very lucky again. Oscar Pistorius arriving here at court on day 25 of his murder trial, being escorted into court there. The media trying to get a shot of him. There's a hug, one of the supporters hugging Oscar Pistorius. So the lady who was hugging him has been here for a number of days now, and every time Oscar Pistorius arrives, the athlete does acknowledge that she's here. We've seen quite a number of these supporters come through over the past few days. Also, a lady that I spoke to this morning who was here to support Roux Steenkamp's family, saying that she takes at least 10 minutes out of her morning before she heads to work to come and stand here and show support for Roux Steenkamp's family. But yes, 25 days later, and we're expecting a break today, a postponement in the case today. As you said, we'll return on the 5th of May. It's been 25 grueling days here outside the North Gauteng High Court, and of course inside, as we saw Oscar Pistorius take to the stand and give his version of what happened on that morning. We saw him come under intense scrutiny as well, and then this morning we're expecting Roger Dixon again to take the stand, to be cross-examined again on his testimony. We're expecting that to be quite grueling again, as you saw yesterday, Chriselda tearing into him, asking him about his qualifications and whether he's even qualified to speak on the range of issues that he gave in his testimony.
Chriselda, we're going into recess. It's been a long trek for everyone involved with the case. I'm sure everyone, including the media, must be looking forward to this little recess that's coming up.
Well, a little recess, yes, Urban, but we know there's the all-important elections that are coming up in the country. So for journalists, the job is really never done. And straight from here, I guess it's deployment to different areas around the country in anticipation of this all-important election coming up on the 7th of May. So no rest for the wicked.
And wicked we are in this business. Just quickly tell me about yesterday. It was a tough day for Mr. Dixon under cross-examination. He was discredited really as an expert witness, wasn't it?
Well, it certainly looked that way, yeah, but I mean, following what many analysts had said was a poor showing by Oscar Pistorius during cross-examination, where his testimony was torn apart by Chriselda. Then we have now the forensic geologist, Roger Dixon, who was brought in. He was asked about his qualifications within the South African Police Service. It all sounded very extensive. He went into his evidence, his testimony, into what could have happened in the bathroom, in the toilet where Roux Steenkamp was shot dead. And straight after that, we saw Chriselda ask him, for example, he was brought in to do tests on sound, on light, and he gave his testimony. And soon after that, Chriselda tore into his testimony, asking him if he was a sound expert. He had to concede that he was not. Asked him what he did to measure, basically, or try and assess the light at the home of Oscar Pistorius versus the light coming. I'm being informed at the moment, Evan, just to turn around this way to see who it is that is arriving there. There you have it. The defence's Roux.
I put it to
They're
you.
Arriving with his team.
I put it
That's
to you,
right,
Barry
I put
Roux.
it to you. That's right, Roux arriving this morning. Well, he's always smiling, I guess, for the cameras. He really doesn't really show any emotion. I guess that's what lawyers do, not showing any emotion, even if his team has had a very bad day. We're expecting Khirinal again, as we said, to continue his cross-examination of the geologist, the forensic geologist. So even though, we're expecting quite a grueling day in court again today, we'll have to see how it pans out and if the next witness will be called today.
Thank you very much, Chriselda. I'd also be smiling if I was Barry Roux at 100,000 South African rand a day going into day 25. Thank you very much, Chriselda Lewis. That's Chriselda. Of course, you can follow Chriselda on Twitter. She tweets live from the court throughout the day. If you want to know up to the minute what's happening inside the courtroom, Chriselda Lewis on Twitter. That's a person that you should